What's good, fellas? Welcome to this presentation. This is Trey, and today I want to talk about how to build a rotation of sexy women from scratch. All right, so basically, if I was starting with no women, no nothing, no numbers in my phone, ain't shit going on, how I would build a rotation of women that I'm having sex with within the next 3 months, let's say. I could do it before then, but let's just give it 3 months, right? Here's how I would do it, okay? First of all, I would do it through cold approach. I don't give a shit about dating apps. I don't really care about social circle. I mean, I could make those things happen, but there's something about cold approach. Like I love the challenge of it. It's not easy. It's not easy to just keep going up to women that you don't know and being able to pick them up consistently. And it's not easy to deal with the rejection that comes with that. But it makes you a fucking man. It makes you masculine as fuck. It makes you disciplined. It makes you courageous. It builds your character. That's what I love about it. So the women is like an icing on the cake. You know, that's how I see it. But anyway, so if I wanted to build a rotation, first thing I would make sure, that I design myself into a sexy archetype. Before I even go out there and approach women, I want to make sure that I've maxed out my archetype to the best of my ability. That means when I approach a woman, my first impression, I want it to be as high as possible. So what I'm going to do is make sure that I'm as sexy as possible, right? So what are the things you have control over? You have control over your physique, right? You can make your physique sexy. So that's something that if you look at me, you notice I take control over that. I don't just leave that up to chance or no. My physique is maxed out in my from my perspective, right? Obviously, if I wanted to, I could bodybuild and get even bigger, but I want an athletic body, right? So I maximized on that. I'm maxed out. I have maybe zero body fat. So I'm maxed out. Okay, I'm maxed out accessory wise. Like I'm accessorized up. Okay, that this is my character. Everyone can have their own character, but my character has accessories. Right? You'll see the chain. You'll see the earrings. You'll see the. This is my design. This is not an accident. Okay. What else? Nice fresh haircut. You know what I mean? Fresh haircut. Smelling good. Teeth, in great shape. Make sure your teeth are as white as you can get them. If you need braces, go and get braces. Fuck it, whatever you got to do. Um, what else? Um, your communication. My communication is created, is designed. I didn't always speak the way I speak. I used to be very monotone. I used to speak like this. I used to be like, "Hey, what's up? This is Trey. Let me show y'all how to get a girl." Like that's how I used to be. And I worked on that shit because based on my feedback, I wasn't, it wasn't great communication. So I had to fix it, right? You want to communicate in a way where people want to listen to you. You want to actually sound good, you know, or sound interesting or be able to communicate in a way that's not like average. You know what I mean? Like, cause you're gonna have a hard time picking up women if you walk up to women and they're perceiving you as an average dude. She's gonna reject you, of course, because it's like we gotta remember how many dudes are thirsting over these women. A lot. So women, they don't need to settle for no average dude. You know what I mean? Like they don't. They have like, you know what I mean? That sex is easy for them to get shit like that. So you have to show up with a high level of value or a different kind of value that she can't get easily. So your archetype, max that out to the best of your ability. That's what I did. I maxed out my archetype. So when I approach a woman before I even really go into like conversation and shit, my first impression is strong. Okay? So I said communication, body language. Body language extremely important. Eye contact. When you approach a woman, hold eye contact. Slightly smile. You know, you want to have a slight smile. You don't want to look too serious. You want to be relaxed, grounded, almost like you just really just don't give a fuck. It's weird. It's like you have to give a fuck but not give a fuck at the same time. Because obviously you give some fucks if you're approaching a woman. Like obviously you care a little bit, like you, or else you wouldn't be approaching her. But the not giving a fuck part comes in where this is how I see it. It's kind of like I think you're physically attractive, but if I don't like your behavior, if I don't like your communication, if you're not feminine, if you're not submissive, if you don't have the qualities that I want to see in a woman, then I don't give a fuck how physically attractive you are. I'll walk away. I'll cut the communication. You see, so that's a king frame. That's a frame of a king. That's how a king would operate if he was to do cold approach. He would approach the woman like, yo, I'm a king, so make sure you treat me as such. And the second that he gets a vibe that she doesn't understand that he's a king, he will end the communication, right? If she's fine enough, maybe he might display more value. Like if she's not getting it, like, okay, she's not getting it, fine. But even then, it's like, if you're really on that king shit, you have an abundance mindset. Like, if this girl's not getting it, then fuck her, you know? That's the end of the story. Because it's abundance. We got to understand how many people are on this planet. Like, sometimes you get caught up on one girl, it doesn't go your way, but just remember that there's 7 billion people on the planet. That's a lot. So, we shouldn't be taking a woman's rejection so seriously. A woman can't even really reject you anyway. I just use the word rejection because we're familiar with that word, but she can't reject you. No one can reject you unless they really know you, and no one can really know you. Even you could know someone for years and still not know them. So you can't be rejected. That word is retarded. Okay. So yeah, you want to max everything out to the best of your ability, and then figure out like, okay, I maxed out what I can, what I have control over. Now you got to figure out what are your weaknesses. Like what are your sticking points? You know? And either you need to bring up your strengths so high that your weaknesses don't matter, or you need to turn your weaknesses into strengths. Because this is a game. This is a sexual competition we're playing. You know? Like the best guy gets the girl, or the best guys get the girls. So if you're not getting the girls, it's because you're not communicating in a way where she gets that you are the best guy she can get with. And it can be kind of complex because, you know, mystery gives us these three areas to focus on: attraction, comfort, and seduction. So for example, you can get a lot of attraction with the woman. Like she could be really attracted to you, but she's not comfortable with you. She's not gonna fuck with you like that. And then if she's really comfortable with you, but she's not attracted to you, friend zone. You see what I'm saying? And then seduction, you know, if you seduce a woman, like get her to like be really into you and you haven't built up comfort, then that leads to like what they call it, buyer's remorse, where she's like, oh shit, this is happening too fast. Like what the fuck's going on here? And she might just ghost you or some shit because it's like she doesn't it's just too much. So it's a very interesting game we're playing here. Like you got to learn how to ride the wave of this game. And that's why you got to have fun with it, because if you don't have fun with it, it could turn into a chore. It could get very annoying. You got to have fun with it. Can't take this shit so seriously. So basically, I would max out my archetype, which is already maxed out right now. So if I was starting from scratch right now and I went out and try to build a rotation, it would happen within less than a month. Okay, if I was starting from scratch, it would happen within less than a month. For me, it could happen very quickly because I okay. Here's the difference between me and most guys. I have put myself through so much rejection that I'm able to do in one day what would take most guys, I don't know, maybe a month or months to do. So, for example, in one day, I can approach 30 women. That's a lot. Most guys would have a hard time doing that. And let's just say you wouldn't have a hard time doing that. Let's say you could approach 30 women a day, no problem. Well, then I would have to ask you, but did you max out your archetype, like I said? Like, are you approaching these women as a high frequency man? High frequency. High vibration. Like, you got to feel like a king. When you approach a woman, you got to feel like a king. You can't feel nervous, feel timid, feel afraid, feel unworthy, feel like you're not good enough, feel like she's so fine. You can't feel like that. You have to feel like a king when you approach her. You have to feel like a beast. You have to feel like you're the shit. Because if you feel like that, she will feel it. Women are very in tune with feelings. They're very in tune with emotions. And what you're feeling, your masculine energy is very powerful. It can be transferred to her. And so what you're feeling, she will start to feel it. And if she's sexually available and she feels like, yo, this guy's a high value, high frequency man, then she will see you as a candidate, as a sexual candidate, or whatever you want to call that. Now, if she's not available, sometimes you could still get them, but that now you're playing a different type of game. I'm looking for the girls who are sexually available, meaning the girls who are single or the girls who are in relationships that they're about to get out of or whatever. Like, that's what those are the girls I go for. I'm not really looking for no drama, So once I see drama and shit, especially if like you're focused on your business and shit, you don't have time for that. So anyway, let me simplify this before it goes too long. If I was to build a rotation from scratch, I would max out my archetype, which is already maxed out, and I would go and do cold approach. I personally would go out and talk to, when I really am on it, I talk to 30 women a day. But you don't have to talk to that many. That's a lot. I do that because I just want to get the result. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm like, yo, hurry up. But 10 women a day, or even, let me say, 5 women a day can get you there. Right? Talking to 5 women a day. So the way how you would do it is, first you talk to 5 people to get yourself in a social mood, get yourself feeling confident, feeling grounded. And then you talk to 5 women that you find attractive. And you do that every single day for 3 months until you have built up your rotation. There's no way in hell that if you do that for 3 months, you're going to get some girls, man. I don't give a shit what anyone says. And if somebody says, no, I won't, well, prove me wrong then. Go and do 90 days, go out and talk to 5 women a day and 5 people. So 10 people a day, 5 men or women, and 5 women you find attractive. Do that for 90 days and tell me you don't get results. That's how my program's set up. Like, anyone that comes in my program is guaranteed results because I set it up like that. And not only are you going and applying the shit that I'm saying right here, you have me coaching you. You have me in your corner. And I practice what I preach. Like, I'm going out. Like, even today I went out. I did some approaches. I was at Target. I approached a couple women. Like, even if I don't really feel like doing it, I'll just fucking do it. And you don't always need to pick the woman up. Like, sometimes you just want to stay in that flow, stay in that vibe of I'm the type of man who approaches women, and it's no big fucking deal. Like, you want to get really comfortable with that, like very calibrated, because women, all they care about is the vibes and the feelings that you give them. So if you don't approach women, like you barely do it, and then you finally do it, you're gonna be awkward, bro. You're gonna trigger some weird shit in her. Like, even if you're physically attractive, like there's some dudes out there that are physically attractive, but they still get rejected and shit because they're triggering the wrong things in women. You gotta be grounded. You gotta be able to stay grounded in your masculinity, and you gotta be willing to you gotta be able to communicate authentically, right? Like pickup lines and shit, like you could do them, but do them like as a joke, like not actually thinking the pickup line is what gets the girl. That's not what gets the girl. It's your character. It's your character that shows up. Like the character and how you communicate. Like you have to communicate in a way where she's like, yo, if I fuck with this dude, my life gets better. Somehow, some way, she needs to get that. And every woman is different. Like some women, they just want a guy who knows how to have fun. Some women, they need a man who's emotionally stable. Some women need a man who's just really sexy. Like there's different women out there that are going for different things. So you just gotta play the archetype that woman is looking for. So I would build my rotation by maxing out my archetype and going out and cold approaching for 3 months, a minimum of 5 women a day. I would approach them by saying, hey, I think you're attractive and I wanted to come and say hi. Or I would say, hey, I think you're attractive. I'll just go up and say, hey, I think you're attractive. What's up? you know? And then, it depends how polarizing you want to be. Like, for me, I'll go and say, I think you're attractive. And then I'll ask them right away, are you single? Because I want to find the woman who submits completely, like right from the beginning. If you go to a woman and you say, hey, I think you're attractive, and then you say, are you single? And she says, yes, I'm single, and she's receptive, she's into you, bro. Because that's actually like very forward to ask someone if they're single. Most of the time they'll say, if they're not comfortable with you or they're not attracted to you, they'll say, no, I'm not single, or they'll walk away from you or some shit. But if she says, yes, I'm single, that's a lot of interest. Because she's accepting your frame that you're just directly coming up to her and saying that. But this is a very polarizing style of game. You're going to get a lot of rejection if you do this. So I don't know if maybe if you want, you could just go indirect. Like if you want to go indirect, you could just go up and say, hey, how are you? And then say like, matter of fact, that's not indirect. If you want to go direct, you could ask for directions, or you can make a comment on her style, like talk about her style, like, oh, your outfit reminds me of this and this, da 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 da, go into that, or you can walk up to her and basically say, if you want to go indirect, I like going direct, so sometimes I'm thinking of like indirect shit to say. It's either ask for the directions, make a compliment about her style, like what she's wearing. Sometimes what I'll do is if I'm in a grocery store or something, I'll say like, hey, have you ever tried these chips? Talk about what the grocery item, and just vibe. Like the game that I run is I just vibe with the girl. And then if the vibes feel good, I just keep moving forward. And then once we reach like a high note, I'll be like, you know what? I enjoy talking to you, or I'd love to continue this conversation. Would you be down to grab a smoothie, or would you be down to get some wine? And then, she either say yes or no, and we just go from there. But the mindset is always abundance. Like you always have to keep that mindset. You can't get discouraged if a girl says no. Because it's just a girl, bro. It's just a little girl that doesn't even know. Like a lot of times they don't even know what they want. You know what I mean? You can't be taking them so seriously, bro. Like these girls are very emotional and shit like that, and a lot of times their decisions don't even make sense logically. Like a lot of times a girl would get with you, and like if you look at it logically, it doesn't even make sense why she's with you. Like at least that happens to me. Like I'll be basically having sex with a girl, and it's like sometimes I wonder, I'm like, yo, like there's 7 billion people, like why is she fucking with me, Like I get like the frame of, yeah, I'm a king and this and that, but it's still very interesting if you think about it. Like somebody could get with anyone in the world and they choose you. Like that's cool. That's cool. You know what I mean? Um, you should feel good about yourself. Like not in a way like, oh, she's giving you validation, but more so just the fact that, man, there's 7 billion people and this girl gets my value. That's why I don't put women on a pedestal, but when women see my value and they treat me like a king, I bring them up with me. Like I elevate them. You know, like I help them in life and shit. Because if it's like, okay, if you see my value, you're giving me your replication value, then I'll give you my survival value. Right? If you let me have sex, then I will let you, I will help you survive better in life. So that's how I would do it, man. That's how I build my rotation. Now, if you want help with this, like with specifics, or you need accountability, or you need guidance, like if you're right now you want to build a rotation, that's something you're interested in, and you want my help, like how to make that shit happen within the next 3 months or less, I have a program designed for that. Okay, it's basically like a one-on-one coaching mentorship program, and right now I'm doing a deal where, matter of fact, let me mention this to you. I have a mastermind group. This is what you should jump on. Okay, jump on this. It's a mastermind group. Right now it's $10 a month for the first 10 people. I believe there's like 6 people in there now. There's probably more now. So just hurry up if you want to get in the mastermind. Basically, it's a group of men who are gonna have daily calls, daily mastermind calls where you can ask me questions, and and you'll get my advice and my help and support. You also get help and support from the other members in the group. This is a great start. Like if you just want to get some coaching and also get some help, you know, also be inspired by other men and stuff like that, and have conversations about wealth, power, and women, you want to jump on this mastermind. But if you want one-on-one coaching, hit me up. I'm doing a deal on my coaching. I don't want to say it right here. But if you want to know what the deal is, just message me. If you want one-on-one coaching. So you have 2 options, the mastermind or one-on-one coaching. All right? Thanks for watching. Peace.